Hello, everyone. Welcome to my little corner in social media. This is yours truly, Callie Soul Call. I will be posting various stories through this channel that are pretty much sharing life experiences that I've been through, how I've navigated them, what I've learned from those experiences. And my sole purpose of sharing this information and being so vulnerable or transparent in what I share, one of the goals is to give permission to people out there going through similar situations to feel what they're feeling, to go through what they're going through without shame, without feeling like they're alone in it. I'm sort of hoping to be that kind of lighthouse out at sea, pointing out to all those strayaways in the ocean that you're not alone. There's somebody out there that understand you, that relate to your pain, that have been through similar situations. And if they've managed to get through them, then you could also get through them perhaps. So that's one of the purposes of having this channel and sharing these videos. It's just to give permission for people to feel, for people to experience life in the ways that they experience life. Also, the biggest goal I like to attain from this is to maybe help people that are going through tough things, similar things that I've experienced. Hopefully help them navigate through those hardships. I been through a lot in my life, and pretty much most, if not all, of the hardships and challenges I've had to experience, I've had to face them and overcome them alone without the adequate support group, support system, and without the necessary resources. And this does not go to say or give me greater glory. No, this is a huge call to action, to not do things this way. Don't try to carry it all on your own. Don't try to bear the weight by yourself. It might give you a pride boost at first. It might be something that make you feel great and amazing with yourself for a short while. But the toll that things take on the back of your head, where you don't notice it, is a price far too great to pay. So this is me bearing my heart out in the midst of a disability due to mental health, while I'm still recovering, while I'm relearning so many things to be a functional adult again. This is me telling you, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not sustainable. It's not healthy. And it's a far too great of a price to pay down the road to not adequately take care of your mental health, of your trauma, of everything that's hurt you, that's scarred you in some way. So knock on the door of enough psychologists, social workers, psychiatrists, holistic therapists, counselors, support groups. Knock on the door of enough of them until you find the right one for you. You will have to be resilient in the journey of finding that provider that you feel like they understand you, that feels like they can actually help you. It will take time. But if you knock on enough doors, you're never going to find it. And if you stop from the premise that every therapist out there, it's going to be like the past one, you're never going to give yourself the chance of healing, and you're never going to give yourself the chance to have the support and the help that you actually require. So pay heed to my call to action. Although this channel will be sharing a lot of valuable information and tools, by no means this is me pretending that professionals out there are not good. By no means this is me saying you do not need their help. And by no means this is me pretending that I am a mental health specialist. I am a holistic therapist that focuses, or that the techniques that I use are trauma centered and stress centered. And although these tools that I will be sharing and this information that I will be sharing will be of great value, they are not to be taken as a substitute for therapy or for your own actual healing work. This is just merely meant to be ingredients that you add to the recipe of what works for you. And it may not work for a lot of people. We don't all respond the same way to the same tools, the same techniques, the same type of therapies. And that does not mean that the tools and the experiences or the practices that I've done are less effective. It just means it is not the right one for you. But when we're healing, we have to allow ourselves the chance to fail enough times until we get it right. Meaning, you have to try everything that you can try to find out and figure out what does work for you. If you don't try it, how can you know? How can you possibly know if it'll help you or not? So we have to be resilient in the sense that we have to be willing to fail over and over and over again at trying. And when we expose ourselves to new things, we have to be willing to fail. And I know that's kind of hard to say and even harder to take when you're dealing with trauma and dealing with mental health. Do not take failure lightly in that mental state. But I want you to consider that wherever you fail, it's only a redirection. It's only something that's steering your vehicle into a different direction. It's only something telling you this is not the road to take for you. It does not equate to you will never be okay. It does not equate to nothing will work. It just means this, in this time and space, is not the road to take. Maybe a tool that doesn't work now will work 5-10 years from now. And that's completely fine because we're ever evolving humans. We are never stuck, and we have to stop being enamored and focused and obsessed with the concept of things never changing, of everything being so controlled and so tightly the same. Allow yourself the grace to fail, to get back up, to try. Give yourself the gift of figuring out the way to your inner being, to your mind, to your soul. Give yourself the opportunity to find out what truly makes you. Not what your mom said it makes you, not what society said it makes you, not what the government says it makes you, not what your country says makes you. Give yourself the opportunity to actually get to know what is part of my core being outside of indoctrination, in spite of trauma and life experiences, breaking away from any and all external influence, what's really there at the core. And we may never fully peel all the layers. And if we never peel all the layers, that's fine too. It's not about perfection. It's about going further. It's about going deeper. It's about doing our best. And our best may be getting halfway there, maybe getting a quarter there. Heck, our best may be peeling one layer. But if that's the very absolute best that you can do, you have to honor and celebrate that and not punish yourself because you're not going to the second layer, you're not reaching the middle, you're not reaching 3/4, you're not fully peeling the onion. The focus should not be to peel the onion entirely, because the only way to peel the onion entirely is to stop living, is to die. Things are gonna happen as long as you live. So for as long as you live, you are likely to accumulate more trauma and more things that hurt you and affect you. So accepting it, it's a very important step to remove all this pressure that it's unnecessary that we place on ourselves. And I say we because I am absolutely one of them. All we should really strive to do is just to have some improvement. Improvement today might be a full step, or it might just be standing up. And I will talk about that in another video. I will talk about a lot of things in upcoming videos, so I want to keep this a little bit short. Don't want to make it too long. But I want to invite you to continue to keep an eye out for the videos when I post them. They may not be frequent. They may not be scheduled. This will not operate like an influencer because I do not care to become one. If I do on the way, then great, but that's not my goal. My goal is to put out there what most people don't dare to put out there. To be as real, as vulnerable, as transparent, so that others feel heard, understood, not alone. And more importantly, hopefully the community that gets to be built up around this, it's a community of people that can take the things that I share here and use it to their advantage for their own healing, for their own growth, and for their own expansion. That would be the most amazing thing that could happen from all of this. And that's deeply what I want at the end of the day. If I just reach 5 people and those 5 people can apply some of the things I share here and make their life better, then I did what I set out to do. So you will see tears. As I mentioned, I'm going to be getting quite transparent and vulnerable with y'all. I am halfway there healing of my own mental health disability. So there are things I'm still trying to make peace with. I'm still trying to accept. And although I struggle with them, I will also be talking about them and sharing them. So get ready for a quite possibly highly triggering channel. I don't mean to be triggering. I don't want to be triggering. However, if I am triggering, I hope it triggers you in a way that it draws you and calls you and incites you and inspires you to get in touch with yourself, with your emotions, to heal, to grow. That's the only way I want to trigger people. I know it might not happen that way, but from the bottom of my heart, that's what I wish. I wish that if I must trigger people, then trigger people to become valiant in the journey of healing, to call their inner power, their inner strength from however many feet of dirt it must be buried underneath, to draw that out in them. So yeah, I will leave you guys with this. This is the first video of many to come. Like I said, I don't have at the time anything scheduled, anything planned, anything systematic in place. Neither will I put myself through that pressure because I am healing myself. I'm in a healing journey myself, so I need to honor that as I go along. But this is something I've been wanting to do for a very long time and have been scared to do for an even longer time. But I feel like the time has finally come to do this, to share this. So I will be doing my very best. Some of the subjects that I will be talking about, so you know, is PTSD, panic and anxiety attacks, depression, but in the sense of major depressive disorder, because it's what I have. I will be talking about insomnia. I will be talking about domestic violence. I will be talking about narcissistic relationships, inner child healing, deep trauma healing, abandonment issues, and many more. So those are some of the things you can expect. You can also expect a lot of spirituality driven content, as I like to believe that I'm a very spiritually inclined person, so you can also expect videos in regards to that. And along the way, if there's any topic people would like for me to touch base on and would like to throw it my way and see if I have any productive or positive to contribute to the equation, then I will consider making videos about that. But I do not talk of what I do not know of. However, if I dare to speak about it, it's because of my experience. And one thing I want to set out clear, this channel and anything I post in it, it is solely based on my very personal experience, which may not apply to everyone, which may not align with other things out there. And if it doesn't, that doesn't make it any less true or any less real. So take it for what it is, somebody sharing their life experience, their feelings, their thoughts, how they handled it. That's what this will be. It does not go over any other tool, technique, or learning or teaching out there. It does not negate any other possibility. It is one out of the many. Keep that in mind, and keep in mind that whatever I'm sharing here, it's fully me. I'm not sharing anybody else's experience, although at times I may speak of experiences I've had with other people, and by having other people involved in the equation, they may have a different take on things, but this is mine. In the same level of respect that I give to others, I will demand for me. Do not try to silence my version of the story, because I guarantee you, anything and everything that I will be sharing here has been very real to me, despite what other people may try to say or discredit. Because although I'm beginning this channel, I already know certain things I'm going to talk about that people are going to try to come at me for. So I want to put this as an imprint out there. This is my story, how I lived it, how my brain and my psyche absorbed that reality. And you respect me by not trying to change my reality into whatever or however you saw things take place. So this is a direct message to multiple people out there that may watch these videos, that have been part of the process, that will likely not agree with this. And I will continue to be mindful with how I share things and how I express myself. That was kind of heavy.